Hello everyone and welcome to the lecture of Engineering Mathematics 3, in which today we are just dealing with the transforms and especially you have to know about Z transform. So for our reference we have written here as lecture number 1, so that if we want to take any reference of the video, then you can just recall, is it lecture number 1 or 2 or whatever it is. Okay. So initially, see this word, what you mean by transform. So see here, transform is a mathematical operator. This is important. It is a mathematical operator which maps a function in the original space to another function in the another space. So what is the role of the transform? That the function in one domain, it converts to another function, another representation in the another domain. And why it is necessary? So it allows this transformation, this allows complicated functions to turn simple. The functions which are very difficult to understand or to interpret, they are converted in the easy format, so you can understand them, you can analyze them, and you can use them in whatever way you want them. Okay, so like this, there are various types of transforms which are used in different situations. You must have heard Laplace transform is there, then Fourier transform is there, and now we are just dealing with the Z transform. These are the transforms used in various situations. So let us know here about only Z transform. So what is the role of Z transform? See, it converts the discrete time signal. This signal may be real or may be complex. So it is basically, it is a discrete part. So discrete signal is converted into the frequency domain in the signal processing. So plays very important role in the signal processing. Then see, it is also used to analyze and process the digital data. Analysis and processing of the digital data is done with the help of Z transform. It is also used to check the stability of the linear time invariant system. Okay, so if you are not able to analyze the system, then we are not understanding exactly how to implement that system, how the system will work, what will be, when the system will be stable, or what changes we needed to do in that. So for that purpose, for checking the stability of linear and time invariant system. So they are not much more depending on time when you go for the analysis. And then applications of the Z transform. So see, what are the applications of Z transform? Automatic control in the telecommunication. This is the first use. Then analysis of the discrete signals. So discrete signals, that is the basic part of Z transform that we have already seen. This is a speciality of Z transform, that it analyzes the discrete signals. Then it helps in system designing because it helps you discussing the stability. Hence the system designing is very possible with the help of this. It enhances the electrical and mechanical energy to provide the dynamic nature of the system. Then it also helps in finding frequency response of the signal, and then it helps in designing for the digital filters. So it plays very important role in analyzing, processing, as well as in the stability of the system. Okay, so once we know what is Z transform and what are the applications, let us continue with some of the important points which are necessary to know more about Z transform. So see, what are the important points? First of all, we should know what is meaning of the sequence. The set of ordered numbers. These numbers may be real or these may be complex. This is called as a sequence. So here every number follows certain pattern. Okay. So generally this sequence is denoted as this one. This is sequence AN, sequence UN is the most common notation. But now we have written sequence f of k because we are just going to use this notation everywhere in this Z transform. Okay, so now let us see one example. Sequence f of k, 2, 3, minus 1, 0, 4, 5, 1 sequence is given to you, and in this sequence, this is one notation, arrow notation given to you. So what it indicates? This indicates the position. See here, f of k, this is the function. So we are representing the function in the form of sequence in the form of the function, and this function indicates the signal. So here k stands for the position. So here arrow indicates k is equal to 0 position. Now to the right hand side, k is equal to 1 first position, second position, and so on. You may continue. And this side, k is equal to -1, k is equal to -2, and so on. So how will we define this one? So here f of 0. So here the 0th position is given by -1. Similarly, here we can say f of 1 is equal to, what is k is equal to 1? So f of 1, what is the value of this sequence here? It is 0. Then here f of 2 is equal to 4, and you can proceed in this way. This side you may continue. F of -1 is nothing but it is 3. Then f of -2 is equal to 2, and so on. Now wherever this arrow is given, from there you have to start with the position k is equal to 0. So if this position is not given, then by default this is considered as 0th position, and then k is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. The counting continues, right? Then the next, another important thing what we needed is causal sequence. Okay, so this is the sequence in which the terms which are corresponding to k less than 0, means k negative value of the position, are 0. Such type of all the positions where for negative position the value of the sequence is 0, it is called as a causal sequence. So see one example, half raised to k where k is greater than equal to 0, and 0 when k is less than 0. So here see, when k is negative, that time all the values of the sequence are taken as 0, and so it is a causal sequence. Then we needed some knowledge of geometric series or geometric progression when we are proceeding with the Z transform. So what is it? See, the series in the form a plus ar plus ar square plus so on, this is called as geometric progression or geometric series, where a is the first term, and see, a is multiplied by r to get ar is multiplied with r again to get ar square. So every term is multiplied by r, and we are getting here r as a common ratio. Then we have to know what is the summation of this is given by Gp is a upon 1 minus r, provided this is important condition applied, mod r is a less than 1. Then and then only this series, you can say it is a convergent series or it exists. Then similarly mod r less than 1 means r lies between -1 to +1. Then region of convergence, in short it is called ROC, that is the abbreviation used for it. So it is the region in which the system is stable. So we want to see in which region the system is stable. So here see, if z is equal to x plus iy is a complex number, then mod z is equal to a, this represents a circle, equation of a circle. Because here see, mod is nothing but x square plus y square. So x square plus y square is equal to a square. The same circle in the complex form is written in this way. Mod z is equal to a. And when you get mod z is greater than a, that time values of k are greater than equal to 0 always. And this indicates the exterior part or exterior region of the circle, that is x square plus y square is greater than a square. And then mod z is less than a, that time k is less than 0, and hence we get the region which is the interior of a circle, that is x square plus y square is less than a square. Then mod z is equal to a represents the point on the boundary of the circle itself. So that is x square plus y square is equal to a square. So with this basic knowledge, because everything is needed, you must know what is causal sequence, you must know how to find out the summation of Gp and all, and ROC, because in every Z transform we must know what is ROC, then and then only your example becomes meaningful. Then let us see what is the actual definition of Z transform. Okay, so we will just define Z transform like this. So see the definition, and we have to work out with few examples in that. So see, if f of k is the given sequence, then Z transform of f of k of sequence f of k is denoted as, how it is denoted, see, it is denoted as, see the notation, Z transform of f of k, you write either in this way or you write it f of z. Now this should be capital, f of z, and this is defined as, how to define, see here, defined as, so see, Z transform of f of k, this is equal to f of z, and this is nothing but it is a summation, k is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity f of k z raised to minus k. This is the sequence, right? Now this is summation, and remember here k goes from minus infinity to plus infinity, so it is infinite series you are getting here, and this z raised to minus k, this can be considered as a kernel of this series. Okay, so it what you can say, it always multiplies to the given sequence or given function f of k. So k is a position. Now this z is nothing but it is the complex variable. This z is a complex variable. Now here let us take one remark. See now, this z transform, when you are calculating this series, in that k is equal to minus to k is equal to plus this k position in that particular sequence plays very important role. So your summation depends on how, which are the k values. Suppose if you are having m less than equal to k less than equal to n, then we see here, now here k is taking some definite values only, some particular values only k is taking, and here k takes the values from minus to plus infinity. Now in this situation also you can represent or you can define Z transform f of k, this is same as, of course the notation is remaining the same, so this is summation. Now as k is ranging from m to n, they are the positions, these are the discrete values, they are to be, this is to be remembered, it is very important. So it is not taking any interval value or any continuous value, these are the discrete values taken. So here k goes from m to k is equal to n, and of course the definition basic part is going to remain the same, f of k z raised to minus k. Okay, and then this series, this formula, it has ROC that you have to find out according to what type of function f of k is given to you. Now let us work out with some examples, means how to apply the definition or how to find out the ROC and all these things. So for that, let us see, I will take very first example. So it is say find Z transform of f of k is equal to a raised to k, where k is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so with this we will derive the formula also, and with that we will just simplify the example also. So how you will do that one, see here. So I will start my example, Z transform of f of k. First of all write down the formula. Now this is equal to summation. Now k is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity. That is a basic definition I am writing here. Please note here. Okay, z raised to minus k. Now though I am writing here, this is the basic same definition I have written, but for me, see, it is very important to note, always my attention should be here. What is the value of k given? One change in k will change my Z transform even, means I am taking k is equal to 0, I am not taking k is equal to 0, this is also going to change my value. So here see, it is greater than or equal to, so I have to start here k is equal to 0 to infinity because it is increasing. Now f of k is a raised to k, z raised to minus k. Okay, now generally I simplify it like this one, summation k is equal to 0 to infinity, I make both of them same. So a raised to k I am keeping as it is, but you know, apply the properties of indices, you take it below, so this will become 1 upon z raised to k. Both of them are positive and I can write it k is equal to 0 to infinity. And now see, a raised to k will be in the numerator, z will be in the denominator, and both of them they have the same power k, so working out with this factor becomes very easy. Now start placing the values for k. Start with k is equal to 0. So a upon z raised to 0 first, then a upon z raised to 1, then a upon z up raised to 2, and so on. This will keep on increasing, you know, anything raised to 0 is 1, then plus it is a upon z plus it is a upon z square and so on. So this is nothing but this is a GP, geometric progression, in which what is your first term? See, it has standard notations. A is a first term, R is always a common ratio. So A is first term, no need to write down, you simply mention. When you say it is GP, it has standard notations. A is equal to 1, and what is a common ratio? That we have to find it always. So see, A is 1 is multiplied by A by Z, so I will get A upon Z. A upon Z again is multiplied by A upon Z. A upon Z into A upon Z is A by Z square, and so on. So here you will have R is a common ratio. And what is the summation? We have seen the formula, A upon 1 minus R, that is A upon Z, provided this is stable only if mod R means A upon Z is less than 1. This is very must condition. So you have to write it down. Now actually we have to simplify it algebraically little bit. So cross multiply here, it is 1 upon. Here it will become Z minus A upon Z. Place the bracket for this. And meanwhile simplify this also. So mod A is nothing but A, because modulus of any number is always positive. Then here you can say mod Z, because Z is a variable, so we don't know exactly, so it will remain in mod less than 1. Okay. And then here denominator will go in the numerator, Z upon Z minus A, and where if you want for some time you may keep mod also. If you don't want to consider it positive or negative, you may place like this. But this Z, mod Z, it is a variable for us, so it should be in the numerator. So this is divided here, shift it here, so here mod A is less than mod Z, and therefore I will just mention I have derived the first formula, Z transform of f of k. What is f of k? A raised to k. This is nothing but Z upon Z minus A, and where see, I will just write it like this, mod Z is greater, mod Z is greater than mod A. Now this is the first formula. Even I explained how to use GP and all this. This is the same technique which you have to use for simplification, and now I may apply this formula anywhere. For example, say if I am asking to calculate Z transform of 5 raised to k, where k is greater than equal to, of course you have to mention here, k is greater than equal to 0. Then see here, a value is nothing but it is 5, so this will become Z upon Z minus 5, and where you just mention here mod Z is greater than, now mod 5, so mod 5 means you can say simply 5, which I have previously written, mod E is same as A also, so you can mention here mod Z greater than 5. So this is one way I have told, and there are so many different formulae there which we will see in the next session. So once we completed this part, now let us work out with one example which connects, which gives me the application of basic definition, as well as it gives me opportunity to work with all positive, negative, all values, and that will be the example which I want to continue here. So find Z transform of this sequence. F of k is equal to 1 upon 4 raised to mod k, and this is for all k. This is mentioned for all k. I have to find out the Z transform of this function. Okay, so how to work out C? But I have to use the basic definition for this. So I will just go Z transform of f of k is equal to, now you are working for all values of k, means it may be positive, negative, from minus infinity to plus infinity, so apply the basic definition, minus infinity to plus infinity, f of k and z raised to minus k, right? Now as I am just working with this C summation, k is equal to minus to plus infinity. Now when I am placing this function 1 upon 4 raised to mod k, z raised to minus k, now see everything is decided by this mod k now. Now modulus is a function which is defined in different way in positive interval as well as in negative interval, and that's why I have to break down my this total interval into positive as well as negative. So how will I go? See here, first of all I will go k is equal to minus infinity to k is equal to minus 1 here, and then my second interval will be summation k is equal to, now see you have come up to minus 1, here it will be 0 to infinity. Okay, so in this negative interval minus infinity to minus 1, in this interval 1 upon 4 raised to, how mod is defined? Mod is defined as minus k. This is the basic definition. And this z raised to minus k, of course it is a kernel part, it will remain as it is. Now in the positive interval 0 to infinity, 1 upon 4 raised to mod k is considered positive and z raised to minus k. Okay, so this is the splitting, and this is going to give you two different types of GPs. Okay, then see here, very firstly what I have to do, see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to infinity is logical, but here minus infinity to minus 1, how to take the summation? So I have to convert it into positive, and by that you put the substitution. Say k is equal to, suppose say minus r if you put here, and therefore r is equal to how much it is? Minus k. How we do it for integrations and all, like that way. So find out the value. Now this complete GP, only for this I am going to change the variable. Here the variable is k for me. Here my summation is changing according to k. Now I am going to change it. So here see, when k is equal to minus infinity, that time r is equal to, so I am just going to use this part. See here, r is equal to minus k. So minus of minus will become plus infinity, and when k is equal to minus 1 upper limit, that time k is equal to 1. And so instead of writing now infinity to 1, what is a logical way for me to write down? Let me write here, sorry, r is equal to, I have to just write it down. So this is r is equal to, so my system will change now. R is equal to 1 to infinity. So see, instead of writing infinity to 1, I have written 1 to infinity. Now even it will change here, 1 upon 4. Now what is minus k? Minus k is replaced by r, and here z raised to also replaced by r. Minus k, and my total summation, which was in terms of k, now converted in terms of r, plus no change is needed here. So I will make the change whatever I needed here. K is equal to 0 to infinity. I will make both the values, both the powers same. So this is positive. Let me shift here 1 upon z raised to k. Okay. Now let me combine the terms to work out for GP, and so I will get like this. See, summation r is equal to here 1 to infinity, right? So here see, this z is in the numerator, 4 is in the denominator. So this will become z upon 4, and both of them they have power r, plus summation. Here I am just going for k is equal to 0 to infinity. Now here z is in the denominator. So 1 upon 4 and z, both of them, 4z raised to how much you have? K. And now just convert it in terms of GP. So first GP, when I place 1, z upon 4 plus z upon 4 square, and so on. Let me write now some few terms so that I can manage the sums here. Now see, anything raised to 0, I have to start with 1. Previously I have done it. Then 1 upon 4z, and then 1 upon here, purposefully I am writing one term for you, square, and so on, right? And then see, this is one GP, this is another GP, where the first term is z upon 4 and the common ratio is also z upon 4, right? And then here, my first, this is GP with common ratio r is 1 upon 4z, and the first term is equal to 1. So here this GP has different formula, that GP has different application. So A, z upon 4 divided by 1 minus r, z upon 4, plus here A is 1 upon 1 minus r, means 1 upon 4z, and here for this I have two ROCs. So here see, mod z means mod z by 4 is less than 1, as well as here mod 1 upon 4z is also less than 1. So this is ROC for this is ROC for this, but you have to mention both of them. Now simplify here. So what you will get, see here, z upon 4 divided by, cross multiply here, 4 minus z upon 4, and here 4 and 4 will get cancelled. Now meanwhile here, 1 upon, this is 4z minus 1 divided by 4z, and here side by side you start simplifying. So see now, 4 is divided by, when comes here becomes multiplied by mod z less than 4. Now modulus of 4 is 4 itself. Now z must be in the numerator, I have kept also. Now here mod z is in the denominator, so z will go here. So divided quantity converted to in multiplication. But what will be left here? 1 upon 4, and modulus of 1 upon 4 is 1 upon 4 itself. So 1 upon 4 less than mod z less than 4. These are the two ROCs of respective values. Now here you simplify. This will give me z upon 4 minus z. Denominator goes in the numerator. 4z minus 1. And here now these two ROCs, I don't want to keep them together like this separate. I just want to combine this. So see, mod z is less than 4, but at the same time it is greater than. So see here, 1 mod z is less than 4, but mod z is greater than 1 upon 4. So this is the combined ROC. This is the region of convergence, and this is the z transform of your given function. Clear? So in today's session we have seen what are the applications, what are the basic definitions, and with that we learned how to simplify few examples based on the basic definition. Okay, so that's all from today's session. See you in the next session immediately.